Good afternoon there, and thank you for joining in again. So I'm getting started a little bit late today, and this one will probably be a bit shorter. We're not going to get everything that we wanted to get done today done because of I had errands to run today. They took a bit longer than expected, and then I got a new headset, which I'm very happy with. It's comfortable. The audio is actually really good. The game actually sounds quite a bit different, and I'm appreciating some of the sounds that I did not really notice or hear before, and I'm enjoying that. So it's kind of like when you upgrade from, you know, garbage to, from a potato. I started Guild Wars 2 on an absolute potato. It was a laptop. When I upgraded to full HD, I was like, hey, this game is actually prettier than I realized. And I'm sure I'll experience the same thing here in the near future when I upgrade to 4K. So I'm experiencing that with the sound right now, and I'm really enjoying it. I also sound different in recordings and presumably streaming as well. So I sound much clearer. It filters a little bit better. I do sound like I'm in a space capsule far above the game. I sound very removed from the game, which I don't love, but overall I think the audio is a lot better. But because I got this headset, I then had to kind of troubleshoot it and try and get my audio settings right. I still don't necessarily love them, but I'm also not super good at that aspect of content creation and streaming and so forth. So I don't know. It might be as good as it's going to get right now. But all these things took up time, and I'm really kind of starting today. Oh, actually, I wanted to go over there. When I thought I was going to be about the time I normally finish, to be honest. So late start, no problem. There is one thing that I wanted to look at right from the get-go today, and that is this. So my bank is full. Some of this stuff can I part ways with? Yeah, in a variety of ways. I could part ways with some of this stuff, or like do I really need to sit on all like this laystone and bladed stuff? Probably not. I could open that up and I could salvage it with my Mystic Savage kit and get some dark matter, of which I have very little. That's you get that from salvaging exotics, um, and I haven't been doing a lot of that on this count, so thus I have very little. Um, I could clear out some of this space, but ultimately this amount of storage, which is what, 1, 2, 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 30 slots for a bank is really kind of substandard. Like, come on, Guild Wars 2. Um, they give character a lot more than that, at least for a boosted character. And even in the story now, you get a large slot at one point in the story. It's like 18 slots. That's kind of crazy. You get almost this much of one little story chapter in the personal story. So why are they so prohibitive in the bank when they're relatively? I wouldn't say they're generous with the characters storage, but like again, boosting. I got 60 here plus the 20 for the starter slot, so I got 80 slots. And this is really important, and this is where I'm going with this. I got 80 slots right here on this character. I got 30 slots in the bank. And if I drop 600 gems, I get, what, another 30 slots for 600 gems? A new character only costs 800. So we can come in here. There's my bank tab expansion. 600 gems. Get out of here. More on the character, 400 gems, which I think is also a bit much. 800 for an entirely new character. So, as I was talking about yesterday, like, why in the world would I spend money on that? As a new player, at least. My main account has like 6 bank tabs. But if I were a brand new player, or if you are a brand new player, don't buy bank tabs at this point. Create a character that you may or may not use later. I like Ranger. I like Thief. I mean, I like almost all of them. So, you know what? Revenant. Let's make a Revenant. Why not? Should we make a tiny Revenant? Big Revenant? Let's go right there. Let's see. Physique. I mean, it doesn't, who cares? Eh, eh. Put clothes back on her. Poor thing. Really upset Revenant? That's so extra, man. There we go. There we go. Eh. Eh. kind of like that. I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Eyes. Eyes. I like it. Kind of like that one. It's kind of weird. It's kind of cool. This is the fastest one. I've probably already done that on this account, though. Did I do that with my main? Have I even played the I don't even think I've done the 10-level story on the main character yet. Who cares? It doesn't matter. I guess that's the important thing to understand here. None of this actually... I mean, a Revenant, should it be Grenth? A Necro should definitely be Grenth. So my last character was probably Grenth, right? We'll go Dwayne. Sure, why not? Okay. Character made. Yay. So, what is the point of this then? There we go. We took a couple minutes. We need to get through our tutorial here. We're under attack. And then what we need to do, dive into here. Inventory bags. So, you know, yeah, if we're going 15, I'm going to take a little bit of a hit on gold, right? Now, I do have some gold coming to me because that staff sold too. So, it may well be worth it to buy like 15 slot bags. But I don't have that much stuff. And again, even 4 8-slot bags is more. Because remember, I start out with my 20 slot right there. 4 8-slot bags means that this character, which if you're a new player, you have those 5 character slots, right? So this character, which cost me nothing, or let's say I bought a new character slot. It cost me 800 gems. For almost nothing, I'm going to have 52 storage slots versus the 30 for 600 gems. ArenaNet, why are you like this? Like, this is the most absolute nonsense monetization. Not because they monetized bank space. I don't actually have a problem with that. I would prefer they started us with 60 versus 30. I think that would be a little more appropriate. But, okay, fine. They started us with 30. Now we need to buy more. The fact that the cost of a bank slot versus the cost of a character is so adverse in term from the bank slot side of things that it makes more sense to have storage tunes. Like, that's ridiculous. So now I have this character, right? Now I got a Revenant on this account, and this Revenant is for the near future going to be tied up with with stuff in its inventory. So it's going to have like a completely full inventory, and as a result, it may not be desirable to play this Revenant. Plus, I'm going to leave it camped out. So the one downside to a storage tomb is that you pretty much need to leave it camped out near a bank so that it can deposit things in the bank and retrieve things from the bank, because you can't deposit or retrieve things directly to the character from other characters, aside from like some weird workarounds that aren't beneficial. Now, when the game launched, it didn't used to be this way. When the game launched, like, things were very specific by character, including like the amount of gold they held and things like that. But ultimately, they united all that, which was the right step by far for the studio to do. But none of that's terribly relevant here. So I'm gonna have a bunch of stuff tied up in this character. This character is gonna have to be near a bank for it to be useful. So these are slight, very minor drawbacks to having this storage tune. That doesn't mean that this particular tune needs to be the storage tune indefinitely. So if I'm one of those people, as I mentioned yesterday, that I have, at least one character of every class on every one of my alt accounts, or, assuming that that's not you, because you don't, like, that's kind of over the top. Even, you have one account, you may still want, say, 6 characters, 2 in each armor class or something like that. This character does not have to be tied down on storage forever. Swap them in 6 months. Like, not a big deal. And now, if I have actually paid for this character slot, I also have the benefit of having another character. Or, in this case, I didn't even pay for the character slot, so, like, no big deal. So, alright, come over here, get all that gold, which we got for selling the staff. I'm very pleased with that. We're almost at 100. If I had the normal amount of time to play today, we would break 100 gold. We're not going to, unfortunately. Or it seems unlikely. It depends on whether we do. I haven't even decided if we're going to do dungeons yet, or if we're going to do our fractals, or if I'm just going to knock out that portion of season 4. We'll decide here in a few minutes. But let's see, 13, so those are about the same. Well, I guess we'll get the leather ones. 4 of them. There. 52 copper. 52 copper. And I'm in much better shape for storage than I was a few minutes ago. And this really needed to happen. Now, if I didn't want to make this point, I didn't want to talk about it, obviously I would have done it off camera, but I think it did need to be talked about, because this is one of those things. I don't think that ArenaNet, I don't think they're bad people for, like, the way they approach this. I just think that they approach it in a way, two things, or one thing tying up 2 spaces. I just think they approached it in a stupid way. I think they just didn't think it through logically, and if they had thought it through logically,
did you need something?
then it wouldn't be like that. I also think, and I was thinking about this the other day, like, so, and actually I had a bag in here for 10 slots, but we'll save that for an actual alt that we're going to play. I think they find themselves in situations like this, and they think to themselves, like, oh, we can't fix it, right? We can't fix it because there are a lot of players who have paid for bank slots already, and if we adjust the cost of bank slots, then we'll be making this huge mistake, because they're going to be really upset. And they did genuinely say this about the whole mount skin thing once, when they started down the road of doing the mount skins in a loot box fashion, and they're like, well, we can't really go back on this because players have already spent money on it in this way. I genuinely, like, that line of thought is completely lost on me. If you must, because all these things are imaginary, they're all digital. Yes, did they require work? And in that sense, was there an investment on the part of the studio? Yes, they required work. There was investment on the part of the studio. But oh sure, man, why not? Not really ready for 20, but I can certainly do 5, and we'll limp through 20. No big deal. So yes, there is an investment up front, but once you have created a thing, so. Wrong thing. There we go. So once you have created this, and this nonsense is true nonsense, really is, but I'm not even going to talk about that. So once they have created Arene's crystalline pauldron skin, there was an investment up front, and it cost them in man hours. Let's say Arene's crystalline pauldron skin cost them $10,000 in man hours, right? I don't know if that's conservative or if that's over the top. Or, like, I have no idea. But let's just, for the sake of argument, cost $10,000. Once they've sold X number, then everything after that is extra. So when you look at certain things that have long since passed, like outfits like some of these, they have got their money's worth out of this outfit a long time ago. Do I have this one on? I think I don't know if I have this one on any of my accounts, to be honest with you. My daughter's got this one. I have it on one of my accounts. So this one's incredibly popular, and it's a great outfit. I'm not a fan of outfits in general, but this is a really good one. So they made their money up a long time ago. They could give that outfit to everybody, and it really would no loss to the studio. They could make the argument that money that they could have made and chose not to make is a loss, but I would strongly disagree with that. I don't. I think that is a short-sighted and selfish approach to business that doesn't actually work, and I don't like it. Where's everyone going? There we go. Like they're all running weird places. So, oh, you can't dodge through the traps apparently. I was going to say something about how it'd be nice to get the achievement, but now we know that I'm not going to. So, whatever, man. Oh, and I'm going to hit it again because it retied itself right as I was on the approach. Cool. Cool. Also, not a huge problem. Like, not worth getting upset about. Okay. I thought it was possible to, like, jump through here. And apparently it's not. I have to go around. We still got 30 seconds, so we should be fine. Or did I just run past it? I honestly was paying attention to some other stuff. And may have actually just plain run past it. Not sure, to be honest. So the legendaries are, anecdotally at least, more likely to spawn. Wait a minute. Oh, see, I was talking about how there was no AFK farming happening. Everywhere you go, man. Like, you can't go anywhere in this game. I can't stream any part of, you know, any sort of thing without running into this. The map was so busy, and even relative to the map being busy, I felt like I had good fortune in how quickly some of them spawned for me. And, what? Come on, Guild Wars. Come on, man. That's nonsense. I didn't lose internet. And look, the map is scattered. Wonder if that happened to everybody. And it put us on a map where meta is happening, which is super weird, but maybe we can. Champion slain 1 of 3. It's at north right now. North would be 2 of 3. So if we get to south, because they failed 1, siege carriers lost 3 of 15. They failed 1. So if we get over here, in theory, this should go pretty quick because we should burn it down, right? You'd think. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining me today. So, for video purposes, just so that we are clear and on the same page, I think I'm going to roll today's stream and yesterday's stream into the same video because yesterday's stream was so non-productive. I just didn't really get a lot done aside from making a storage tune, and we already talked about that. So, today we're going to get done what we did not get done yesterday. Today we're going to pursue. And while we're waiting here, so we have finally gone through a month's worth of login rewards, because I generally log in at least to collect the login and sometimes do daily, even if I don't stream or record. So we've hit 28 days now. So we got the chest of loyalty here. Now this is interesting because what actually moves us towards our goals as it currently sits? This does not at all. This would be 6 tomes of knowledge. That's great for alts, I guess, but this is probably the worst selection in almost every case. Because really 6 levels for an alt isn't like that big a deal anyway. I just strongly do not recommend Chest of Grand Experience. Ascended crafting material, great if we were going to get to the point where we're crafting our Ascended, but for this account to reach its current goals in terms of 0 to 0, I don't think crafting Ascended is the way that we want to go, because the cost of getting to that point, to get level 500 crafting taken care of, it just, that is not the most efficient way to get where we want to be. Legendary crafting materials, it's unlikely I'll ever craft a legendary on this account. Thus far, I've crafted legendaries on only 2 accounts, my daughter's account and my own. And it will probably stay that way for the foreseeable future. Several other accounts have 77 Mystic Clovers by virtue of gathering this chest, just in case I ever change my mind. But, you know, the map completion and everything you got to do on an alt account isn't super, like, awesome or rewarding. So this would not probably be a good choice for us. So really we got Ascended Crafting or Laurels. Because I don't plan to craft the Ascended that we're going to use in this account, we're going to go with Laurels on this choice. Specifically, now this is not often what I take. Why is it that I would take it for this account? Because these 20 Laurels, and apparently we're not actually going to start this fractal, so I might as well come down here and see if I can find a fractal. Oh, now we're going to start it. Now you guys want to start it. Fine. Didn't require it that time, though. And shouldn't have. It never should have required 2 hits. I wonder if that was something that either we as a team did not understand, like we misperceived something, we did not perceive it correctly, or what the deal was there. It is going to require 2 charges, though, to strike the thing this time. There we go. Happy with that experience. And it had something to do with, you know, like the other one getting enraged once you killed the one. But obviously, that didn't turn out to be like a big issue for us, right? So we just really haven't been like making. Yeah, I mean, we're like breaking even when we run fractals right now, and that's not really a good feeling. Like right now, it feels like dungeons are more profitable for us. But what we need to do is we need to get our agony resistance up and start running better fractals. With that in mind, I guess we could have visited the Laurel vendor in there, but there's one right here too. Alright, let's check this dude out. I don't know off the back of my hand how many laurels we got.
What you need.
We got 59. That's a good chunk. Nope. Yep. These are accessories. Rings. Amulets. Let's get an amulet. I think that one, nope, that's not what I was looking for. Man, I remember when this first came out, and like, I did not have a good understanding of builds and like what goes into, you know, the stats, what goes into a good build. And I was like buying like nonsense. Like I 100% had, somewhere on my main account, I have one of these. But it's not what I'm looking for right now. Oh, there we go. That's Zerk. That's Zerk. So I think these used to be different, the Zerk ones. I think because the enrichment slot used to be different. Now it's not. It would be cool if they had one. So some of the new stat lines would be really cool. That's not bad. But truthfully, we don't need him. We're good with Zerk. Okay. Big step forward for us there in terms of our ability to apply agony resistance. Where is it? There it is. But also, in terms of our actual stats, because now we got another one that's on Berserker stats versus Celestial, and that's good for us.
Transport and tracking systems online. Enter authentication to proceed.
Alright. So essentially, we just want to fill out the Inquest puzzle. That's not right. I think that's it. So now we got the inside dot, the outside ring, 1, 2 on top, nothing on bottom though. I don't think that's quite right either. No, that definitely isn't right. Nope. Alright, let's try this. 1, 2, 3. Outside, inside. 1, 2, 3. I think we're good. Yeah.
Authentication confirmed.
They've killed your people.
Okay, so we have now hit the threshold here for High Vault, so let's go ahead and
now there may be awakened
because
involved.
that is good
Sooner
news.
Or later you'll have to act. Better now.
We'll start working on Skimmer, and we should go get Jackal when we're done done with this instance here.
We don't know that's their intention.
You didn't see what they did to our people. I did.
Calm down, Boudica.
What did they
Jeez.
do? Where's my dad?
So
Why didn't he come back with Boudica?
one of the goofier things that's going to happen in this story instance
Not for sure.
is going to take place here in just a
I
second.
hate it when grown-ups talk down to cubs. If he's not back, he's in trouble. What are you gonna do about it?
Oh, child.
I'm not a
Oh,
child.
child. Listen to
I'm a
Elder
warrior,
Narn over here.
Same as you. Same as my dad. And if you're not gonna do something, we will.
Ooh, snap. Alright, well, bye, Effie.
Outlander, I need to tell the elders what happened. Can you keep an eye on the cubs?
Of course. Whatever you need.
Nature bless you. They usually play at the ritual circle by the water's edge.
So everybody's okay with it. Well, everybody actually shrugs. Like they're shrugging. We got some shrugging going on up here. Boudica is going to go join them, presumably, to shrug. Everybody's shrugging
I worry that the cubs may do
at the idea that this village, this somewhat secluded village of these kind of outcasts who have banded together and kind of doing their own thing, and but I don't think we necessarily have reason to believe that they're super warm towards outsiders. They didn't seem that way when we initially met Boudica and she brought us into the village. In fact, initially, the response was, "Why are you bringing outsiders into?" Oh, I'm like jacking up this guy's fishing. Sorry, bro. Why are you bringing outsiders into our meeting space here? Literally moments later, outsider, we have to discuss grown-up things. Please go watch our children. What? Come on, man.
Argue. It's up to us.
I'm not scared.
This is one of the better
I say we go
chapters.
after him ourselves.
I admire your courage.
In a lot of ways.
Sure going after them is
It's a
the
pretty
best
good one.
idea.
But that little moment there is just... And even now, the conversation that happens here and stuff,
How are they gonna feel if you don't?
this
do
is a
that?
little self-righteous
We'll come
and
back.
kind of ham-handed on the
We
part of the
know how to
commander.
fight.
Show me.
Huh?
Kids, violence is
Show
really
me what
serious.
you can do.
All we do is
I'll do
violence.
the same.
Like,
And we'll all get better at keeping each other
get
safe.
over yourself, commander.
We won't go easy on you.
You better not.
But it's just that one moment, hey, go watch my kids. Man, do you... The role that somebody has to have, with the amount of trust that I have to have in somebody to allow them near my kid, in a... I'm not feeling that, for sure. But alright, whatever. Now it's out. Alright, well. Whatever. But yeah, the achievement for bringing that down super fast, I think probably a group thing. I've never seen it done solo. I guess I could check YouTube. Maybe someone did it at some point.
We return his
Maybe
body
I'd
to
better
the
understand
land,
the encounter if I went
that it may be
watched how they
renewed.
did it.
May his memory be a star to guide us.
Isn't that one pretty? Wow. All right, well, this is the second time that we've got a pretty decent drop to help us out in terms of reaching the goals of this playthrough. This is going to be
The day is won.
a big plus.
The cost was high.
You know, let's,
but
you know,
our
50,
victory
55 gold wherever I
brings
decide to land on
results.
selling price.
We will
That's
not
going to launch
let
us
these
from,
ravagers seize
what are we at right now?
our land.
Just shy of 100. Let's say it's
Time
100
has
by the end of the
come
day, because let's do some dungeons instead of
to
fractals
take
after
the
this.
fight to
So I
them.
actually make a little gold.
Are there
100, and then
objections?
we get that. It's 150. There's going to be a listing fee associated with it, though. But still,
that
happy
case-
times. My concern is that we're gonna end up in a situation where I'm really grinding out the auto loot after everything else on the account that I wanted to get done is done, with the possible exception of Skyscale. I think those are the two things in terms of our goals for this account that I am going to be waiting on at the very end. And then what that's gonna mean is like a whole bunch of like Quarteria stuff to try and get auto loot, you know, a whole bunch of dungeons or whatever. And I don't know what that is. I don't remember this achievement. How did I get that from this? Oh, who knows, man? Who knows? I'll take it. Whatever. All good. Things that we know we want for our achievements. And so generally, unless you can pull them together like they are right now, which is really good for us, oftentimes when they're separate, what makes the most sense is to target whichever one is going to be an easier kill, because you know it doesn't matter in terms of health. Alright, cool. But like even on my main account, I wouldn't tag up to do bounties in Sandswept House. So the fact that this person did, whether it was for their own gain or not, you know, good on them. All right, let's get a pickaxe before I forget. Man, I hope that dagger sells. That'd be awesome. I mean, on a long enough timeline, it will. But it'd be great if it sold in the next few days. Be super cool. What am I doing? Equip, don't destroy.
All shiny. Give up yet?
Look at that. Look at that. Came here for a bounty and still, like there's nowhere you can go. I swear. Nowhere you can go in this game anymore without it being a problem. It's truly ridiculous. Oh well.
All shiny.
Some people were just born broken. Back in the day, when I was but oh good, more of it.
Just one
Like
more
it's really
confirmation of
ridiculous.
how great I am.
Guys even call the auto win, which 100% is a reference to this. Like I'm not looking for these things at this point. I'm really trying to achieve the goals set forth for this playthrough. The fact that literally everywhere I go, there are AFK farmers is a reflection of the game. It is not something that I set out to prove. And like again, like I mentioned last time we ran across someone like this, 447 mastery points. Like this person has actually played the game. Right now they're just choosing not to, and they're benefiting from that. And Arena's encouraging it by not doing anything about it. So, what are you gonna do? Let's go get Jackal here in a minute. Jackal will be nice to have because it is probably it is probably the fastest way of covering ground over land, and that's nice. This difluorite's nice too. We're chipping away at it. How are we doing? It's 19. That's actually like not bad. Oh look, a whole bunch more AFK for I can't even anymore. Looks like there's several of them here too. But where are they? They're buried right in the middle.
Sweet, sweet loot.
Pieces of garbage. Human beings with no value at all. Alright, so we can get ourselves a Jackal. It's going to cost us a pretty penny. 20 oh, no way. We are nowhere close on trade contracts. I didn't even think. I always forget about that with the mounts. Man. And that is, you know what that is? That's a lot of events on Path of Fire maps. Is what that is. Alright, well. There's no getting around that. Like, and that's not, so I can't be salty about it. That has always been a requirement for the mounts the trade contracts have, and I knew that and I had forgotten about it. So versus getting hung up on it, let's get a little bit more done today. Here, I don't know what that means. Story mode, TA story. I've got to get some agony resistance now that I have 2 ascended pieces. I got to get some agony resistance into them. Wait, where am I going? Am I lost? Obviously. I took a wrong turn. That's alright. You don't go across the middle, you go around the side. What am I thinking? Stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. I know that too. I've done this plenty of times. Oh man. What an idiot. This is why we can't have nice things, boys and girls. Because of people like me. Alright, we're gonna need to know where Grast is because we did not out DPS the. Looks like we're with him. We seem to be doing okay. Which I couldn't tell what he was running. Elemental. Oh, you know what? I think he's got the legendary scepter and the legendary war horn. Which I didn't recognize the war horn at first. And that's why I was a little confused there. So I got the precursor for that scepter on drop once in one of the Heart of Thorns maps, and I mean, that was pretty cool. But I have no interest in that actual scepter, so I sold it. Yeah, we need 256 for a +9. Now we can buy them.
Always a pleasure.
Or we could just buy the... Yeah, the +1s are pretty cheap. We could just buy the +9. What are the +9s going for? It's a little more gold than I feel like dropping. What do we need? 256? So a stack of them. Yeah, there's 22 silver. What was the other currency, though? And 3 gold. That's why. That's why they're going for 4 gold. That's that offset right there. So presumably at 22 silver, that puts us a little bit over 4 gold. And where's that +9 again? And a little bit over 4 gold here. So at the moment, yeah, so if you're buying the total amount necessary, then that makes sense. That just come in one big stack? Yep, sure did. Alright, let's go get it. And did I already take out the... Yeah, I took out what we had. Man, so close to 100 though. But still, that's a terrible return though on the amount of time we spent playing today, honestly. Really, truly is. Alright. And we're about to lose some of that, but we're going to get the +9 agony infusion, which we need. Alright. So there's our +9. Put the rest of that away for right now. Let's get this stupid stuff out of my inventory that we don't need.
Always a pleasure.
Alright. Oh, look at that. I wasted those laurels. I forgot that the enrichment slot replaces a a slot for agony resistance. Man. Okay, well, that's what I get for being dumb. And one of these days I'll get an enrichment to throw in there and we'll be happy with what we did. Stupid though. Stupid mistake. Okay, well, what didn't we make mistakes on? Well, creeping forward on Noblesse Oblige here. It's going to have to get done so we can start working on auto loot at some point. But on Path of Fire, we did get High Vault and nearly complete Skimmer Mount 1 so we can work towards Skimmer 3. We tried buying the Jackal, only discovered that we do not have nearly enough trade contracts where those things are a mess of... You know, one of these days, let's have a good chat about why like 9,000 different currencies are needed in a video game. It blows my mind. We're way short on trade contracts. We got 34, we need 200. So we're going to have to work through that for Jackal. But we did make a tiny bit of progress. The other thing we did in terms of our currency, we didn't... In fact, we actually have, because I bought that agony resistance, we have slightly less gold now than when we entered the day. But here in the trade post, we do have a dagger that we are just waiting to sell at 53 gold. We got that on drop, so that's a pretty good deal for us. That's going to put us up near the 150, which was our goal for this account. But of course, we still have to pay 20 gold for Jackal, and there's a gold cost associated with getting Skyscale as well. So we still got some work to do. We did make some progress on Season 4. We are actually like probably halfway into Chapter 2, Season 4. But then we got all the Return to achievements there as well. So we're going to have to start working on those also. A little bit of progress today. Things have been going slow lately, but we'll chunk away at some more stuff here in the near future. Hope everyone has a good afternoon, good evening, and I'll see you again soon.